But our egoic agenda, it has a mission. It has a mission to stop us from getting outside our comfort zone. And that's the beautiful thing about the awareness around it. When we can really step into the egoic agenda and actually realize that it's just our ego not wanting to try anything too big and too new, because if it does, obviously with our unconscious ways of being, that it could simply give us the effect that we could die. We haven't done this before. What will something happen? Are we going to survive? You know, this is not harmony. This is not keeping things on the smooth. This is interrupting the way of being. This is new, you know. So we have that unconscious always at us as an ego to pull us back, to keep us in line to what we do know, to keep us safe. Now that certainly would serve us, you know, us thousands of years ago as beings living in the jungle, when we knew that there's a lion or there's deadly snakes or scorpions in that valley. You know, don't go near there. We've lost too much of the family. So that might serve us that we don't go there purely for that, unless we love the adventure, which we could very well from time to time go. But in the Western world that we live now, we don't need those limitations. We need to be able to go out with confidence and actually create whatever it is that we love. And especially in today's world society, everything's bigger. The houses, cars, motorways, cities, everything's bigger. There's a lot more resistance out there now than what there was back, say, for example, 150, 200 years ago, when we were all entrepreneurs, living in our humble little villages or bigger towns, just creating and being entrepreneurs, the shoemakers, the dressmaker, the bread maker, making everything as we're meant to, as a true natural entrepreneur. So we still have that drive to want to have this in our life, not to learn what we know, but to learn what we don't know. But it's a different scenario and there's different resistance. And of course, obviously, that also means our upbringing is quite different. There's a lot more memories around mum dropping me off at daycare, and she does that. She obviously doesn't love me, otherwise why she would do it. We might put a memory up that I'm not good enough because of that. And then we could spend the next 40 years trying to validate why we are good enough. And we're simply then doing it for that reason and not just because we love it. And that's really, really so important to recognize these things, because when we can recognize things about us, we can see the resistance, the invisible instructions, the egoic agenda trying to pull us back and keep us safe. That's when we can create from a different point and a different energy and just go for it, remove what's in the way, and have a lot more success on what we love doing. So our current reality, ways of being in our current reality, which is pretty interesting. You know, there could be, for example, in our current reality, we're stuck in victim mentality. Poor me, poor me, poor me. And I've been here. I think we all have at some stage. Yes. We're simply in that thing that we believe that the world owes us. We believe that something from outside of us owes us to help us have what we create. That thing that was done to me that was so painful, I need to be reimbursed for, or I need to be cherished and loved in some way. It may be even that we didn't have a close relationship with our mum growing up. So especially as a male getting the man flu, we might crave that love and that support when we do get sick from our wife or our partner, because we simply didn't have it when we were younger. Yes. Or we might have had a beautiful relationship with our mum growing up, and then we get older and we get sick. We want to have that nourishment and that caring again, because we don't normally get that with today's busy world. So we can be sick to have that and be in that victim state. The beautiful thing about it is it's just current reality. It's our current ego for whatever it is, poor me, and all our current ego, all these ways of being in here, we're simply not creating as we know. So we must make sure we're focusing on our desired reality so we can create. We might have, obviously, depression and anxiety. We find that when we're doing this work, when we get a lot of anxiety, it's simply because we're not creating what we love. We may be at a job for 20 or 30 years and said it's paid well. We have a house and a picket fence and a boat and a couple of nice cars, but it's boring and it doesn't make us happy. And after doing something for such a long period of time, not something that we love, it can give us a lot of anxiety about not actually achieving what we love in life. So I've certainly noticed with my experience in this work, when we have that anxiety and it's upon us and it's taking over us, which is the fear of the future, we're simply not creating from our heart. We're not creating what we love. And all of us that when we get on this journey and start creating and start working on our true choices, getting our 4 orientational choices, choosing a life that we love, etc., when we start removing the resistance, the anxiety goes away. And it's very, very, very quick. We don't need a whole lot of drugs. We don't need a whole lot of counseling. We don't need a whole lot of stuff. We just need to focus on what we want to create. And that's really, really powerful. Depression, obviously, is just a big fear of the past. What happened to the past, holding on to it, is it going to happen again? You know, and also the depression of what happened to me and it's bad and the rest of it. Same thing again, when we're in that state, we're just not creating. We're not creating what is it we love. We could be in problem solving. You know, problem solving. I need to sort this problem out before I do what I'm supposed to be doing. It could be very well after I have this and I sort this and I fix this, then I'll start my business. When I get my next certification, then I'll start to go online and serve others. And then we just find out we just keep getting another one. It could be we're trying to solve our own problems in our life and others, getting involved in other people's business and stuff, just trying to problem solve. Once again, when we're in that state, we're not creating, we're not focusing on what we love. So there's many different current realities. I mean, there's so much more. There's, you know, the overthinking about everything. You know, we could write a whole lot down. Overthinking, needing to know. You know, needing to know. As you can see, art's not my strong point. But needing to know, I need to know all the answer to everything. You know, and that's before I do something, I need to know the answer. Well, it's just such a negative vision, because as we're creating and we just create it, then we work the answer out as we go. And it's a lot easier to do that and a lot more fun than waiting back looking for the answer to create. Overthinking, controlling issues, overthinking the whole thing. You know, when I have this new thing, I know things will be better. Oh, this is how it works. This is how that works. And we simply just need to focus on what we create and go for it. When we're having control issues, you know, it's coming from fear because we're not happy from behind the scenes because of past memories and experiences, but we're trying to control the outcome. We all know that when we're trying to control the outcome, we simply get more of what we create, which is just more control, and we just go round and round in circles. When we're certainly doing all these things here in our current reality, we're giving our power away as well. We're giving our power to other things. You know, like for example, you know, talk about being a parent. You know, when I create my big fortune, my business or whichever, I'm doing it all so the kids can have freedom and they can have a house and a car. But you'll find as the kids get older, they might be like, I don't want that, Dad. You know, and we're actually doing it. It's a negative vision because we're doing it for them and not for us, which is truly, truly important. It's very, very important. Everything we focus on, as we know, we do it because
we love it. Good
stuff. We love it. So what else we got there? Negative visions we've covered. And there's more, but that's all the current reality. This is all the stuff that when we're going for what we love, the identity pulls us down. We think something wrong. We might have some traumatic experiences. And here, as we're moving towards our desired reality, we might have that first little current identity down here pop up and say, look, let's just do that next week. Let's start that tomorrow. And it's trying to protect us. The ego is trying to keep us into this current reality because this is what it knows. You haven't died in here yet, so we need to stay in here and play it safe. Now, as we're going for more, and we say, no, I'm going to do it today. We get on the phone, we make that phone call, we get that quote, we talk to a possible client. It might pop up here and say, no, you're not good enough. You're not worthy of doing that. And I'll keep trying to pull us back. The beautiful thing about this work is we just step into our desired reality, creating our new identity, having it all, leaving this behind, and then eliminating what's in the way and taking action. And we have so many processes in the masterclass we can listen to eliminate what's in the way. The masterclass is where I started, and it totally changed my life. So it's a very, very, very cool masterclass. It's got everything in there you need, meditations, etc. So get stuck into it, and with the live calls especially, do 1 or 2 a week and listen to another process, 1 or 2 processes as a recording as you go every week. And you'll find in that 3 to 6 month period, you eliminated most of this. You're creating what you love, and the success is just falling in front of you. Because when we're in our desired reality and we're focusing on what we want to create, the universe puts everything in front of us. From where we think it, we create it within our thoughts, in our field. Because we're taking the action towards it, the universe has to provide. And we know this because everything we have up till now, we've created it. Transform your life within. GregJonesNZ.com was a dream 2 years ago. And here we are, we've created it simply by stepping into it, being it before I could see it. My one true passion, my true dharma in this world, my true purpose is to remove things in the way of people so they can have more success in life. And I'm so blessed that I've come across all the modalities that I've gone through and all the training I have, and then come across the magnetic mind from Chris Duncan, which actually shows us through the recode how we can do it in 10 to 15 minute process. We can do some education around it within an hour if we've got the time and remove it. So many cool tools. So when we have our ego, obviously our current identity and our current reality, it actually is trying to help us. It doesn't want us to feel the pain because it believes this could be painful. It's not until it starts realizing, as we're releasing this, that this is actually okay over here. I like being on my true purpose. I like coming from love. I love this energy. I just love being in creation mode. The friends, the family, the financial abundance, etc. It all starts flowing. And that's simply by being it before you see it. Just step into it, eliminate what's in the way, and take action, which is really, really cool. So that's what I wanted to really talk about today, is your egoic agenda. It's just really, really important that we can be aware of it, because our ego agenda can't create. It's not a creation's consciousness. It's stuck in its own world. And as we know, that's exactly what we call it, stuck. Isolating and flowing. When we start with our stuck, we start creating what it is that we love. We start isolating. We start having some success. We might start to build our logo, our brand name. We might get a client. We might do some more training around how to present our business to our brand and to our market. We might get into isolating. We start flowing. We've got our first 5 clients. We're starting to get our office set up. We're starting to get our website finished. And then we might get stuck a little bit. Oh, you're really not good enough this. What about if you fail? Come on, go get a job, whatever it may be. And then we just keep taking action, put ourselves back and flying until we're in flowing. We've got the clients. We're on a true purpose. We're creating everything we love. And then if anything, where sometimes we get pulled back to isolating, which is okay because we're human. And the beautiful thing about this work is we can notice it. We can notice it. We can step into the process, go in the recordings and remove what's in the way.